Holy emotions, Batman. That's all I have to say about this brand new week is get ready to experience your emotions being moved into different ideas quickly, being pulled in one direction and then another and then another and then another as we begin to enter into the final days of this month. This month, May, 5 energy that adds to the 6 energy year becomes a higher spiritualization of our connections. So this whole month has been about connection. This whole month has been about revealing information that is deep inside of ourselves and in our communities and helping to stir it up in order for us to deal with it in the coming months. Now, when this happens, we don't always know. Not everyone is conscious of the things that are being revealed. This is true of what's happening in the world. There are things being revealed right now that you have no idea about because you're focused on your own life and your own story and your own situation. Now, but there are things that are arising within you that you may not be aware of either, depending on your consciousness. So there may be emotions that are rising up that on the surface feel like frustration or feel like confusion or feel like angst or maybe even excited. But you may not fully understand what it is that's rising up right now, that you're sort of blowing the lid off of something so that something else can lift up out of your mind, your thinking, your emotional, how you're feeling in your body, but also make way for a whole new physical experience. And we are going to move towards physical experiences really fast in June. So right now, when I say we're still in the slow movement, I mean physically. Physically in the world, less is moving, but less is more. So let's look at this week. And let's look at this week. I went ahead and pulled cards to support because I wanted to look at how the first thing that I could see when I was looking at the charts. So when I'm looking, I've got the calendar in front of me. And as I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, so we start off on Monday, on the 23rd. We have this energy where the 3, the 2, and the 5 are the activated energies. So we have a 3-2-5 combination. We have intense 2s because it's 2022. We have the 2 coming from the day energy, and then we have the 3 and we have the 5 from the month. So we have all of these energies that are on the chart. We have the energy of being a 7 energy day to start our week. So we're launching our mindset, our mental energy for this week begins on Mondays. So our mental energy is being stirred to be done with something. So we have this emotional stirring of whatever it is that I want to experience in the world. I want a higher experience, but something isn't quite right yet. There's something I'm navigating because we've got a 9 of clubs day. So the 9 of clubs energy is really being supported when I look at the cards of we don't have everything we need for to activate the plan that's ready to unfold. We don't have all the details. We don't have the information for the plan yet. So we think we have it. We've got bits and pieces today. We've got bits and pieces. These bits and pieces want us to say yes to the pieces, but I'm willing to also learn more. I'm willing to see, hear, discover new information. I'm willing to decide, be willing to leap forward, but also be willing to pivot as the week progresses. So this is really, it's how do you feel about what you're deciding? And are you deciding inside of your mind that you're ready to have the experience that you want? Because as we move into Tuesday's energy, so as you're getting ready for the 24th, that 24th energy now says, okay, what do you want to see in the physical world? So that decision you made yesterday, are you ready for the details of the plan? Are you ready for the plan to start to emerge? Are you willing to hear the inspiration? Are you willing to receive feedback from the universe about some hows that you could use to experience your intention? That's it. So Monday really feels, just a little stuck, but it's not. It's just stuck in that there's nothing to move out yet. If you can just breathe and be present with that Monday energy, Tuesday's going to anchor you right into the physical world. So we have this 4 that's coming into the chart. From the 24, we have 2 8s. So we have an 8 ruling energy day, which means you're going to be able to make progress towards what you want, moving away from what you don't. The 8 of clubs is showing up saying, today's the day you move the thing out that you really, really, really want. It's a devoted energy, devoted to what's next, devoted to the plan. So you're going to have this devotion, which to me still feels like it's a mental plan, that maybe you're writing it down. Maybe you're creating things in the background in the business. Maybe you're creating a landing page, or maybe you're creating a, like a list or an outline of things. Maybe you're playing with sticky notes. I used to love looking at like putting all of my ideas on sticky notes and sticking them on the wall and then moving them. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then maybe it will look like this, and I could sort of start to see a plan emerge. So it feels like it's those kinds of activities, mind mapping. It's showing up to maybe build something, but it feels like it's in the background. It feels like it's connected to your devotion. It's still emotionally grounded in your being. It's something to help you devote to it. Another way that this could manifest on Tuesday, depending on your ruling number, depending on how you process information, you might find that you find yourself on a long walk, or you're at the gym, and at the gym your mind is developing a plan. So you might actually be physically doing something that is a little bit monotonous, but it has that, for those of you who love that, like I really love the treadmill, or I love going for a long walk and just where I don't have to think about it. It's just flat surface. I don't have to think about the climb, because I like to be in a place where my mind can process things that I've been witnessing and experiencing. So it's a great day for that kind of mental processing. So it's like the devotion and then the mental movement. It's a really strong mental movement energy on Tuesday. So while it has the momentum, that's helping you move towards the creation in the physical, but it's really still staying in that internal fluctuation. You might feel emotional about it. You might wish that you could take action faster. And this is really about developing that higher level of mastery of, in order to master the physical world, I must master my inner world to do that. So that's what we're doing all week, mastering the inner world in order to achieve, succeed, experience what we want in the physical world. Then we move into Wednesday. So Wednesday is the 25th. This is a 9 energy frequency. So we've got this frequency that's moving through our thinking pattern, which is about completions and higher experience and moving beyond and no longer accepting what was, but accepting what is and realizing that it's time to decide that what is can be taken higher. And we have the 7 of clubs showing up. So we have a bit of a mirror of Monday's energy, but more intense. So Wednesday, I expect Wednesday to be one of the most emotional days of the week. So not to be afraid of it, but to recognize that you're really going to be asked if you want what you say you want. How much do you want it? Are you willing to take your emotional and mental commitment even higher? So this is saying, I see your plan Tuesday. Tuesday's going to feel like there's a bit more free energy. And then Wednesday, you're landing into this like, oh my gosh, I've got to this needs more from me than I thought that I wanted to give. So you might be feeling that, like, this is really requiring that this be different in my life or that be different. You're going to see all of the things that you need to take higher. Now, this means how you've been expressing yourself. You might see things in your career that need to go higher. You might see the way that you've been talking to yourself or talking to others, or the way you've been communicating your message, the way that you've been communicating with people. It's going to need to go higher. You really can't achieve what you want or experience what you want with the same communication patterns that you had before. And this could be about how you're communicating with the universe as well, not just how you're communicating with physical others, but what about the non-physical others? How are you communicating with the universe? Are you telling the universe what you want? Are you remembering that you're in co-creation, or do you feel alone? So all of this is really about allowing support, but also you showing up to support the universe and do your part in a way that maybe has a little bit more commitment. Either way, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a stormy day, in that whatever emotions are arising, they are really looking for some clearing out, right? And it's like that the 5 energy is really intense. The 2 energy is intense. How I connect, how I communicate, all of those things are being amplified with your willingness to call in stability on the inside. So this is, are you willing to face what's going on inside of you, or are you going to continue to look outside of you and pretend that you can take actions around it, you can ignore it, you don't have to face and feel what's going on the inside. So I think Wednesday is going to make it hard for you to ignore what you're feeling on the inside. So then we have Thursday where we make a shift and go, okay, I'm going to go ahead, whatever decision, whatever it is that I learned on Wednesday, Friday comes in and we have this 6 energy. It's 6 of clubs. We have the 6 from the day, from the 26 from the day energy. That day energy, when we add up all of the numbers of the month and the day, we have a 1 energy. So this really gives us this beginning of a clearer thinking, beginning of greater confidence. We're starting to see the outcomes of the inner work. So we're seeing just where this inner work has taken us. So you're going to be seeing your own thoughts. You're going to be aware of your own thoughts. You're going to be aware of what's possible. You're going to get feedback about how purposeful the last month has been. So I feel like the energy that comes in on Thursday is it's time to see all of the work that you've been putting in on the inside. You're going to start to understand it. And understand it is the key word here. You're going to have the thoughts, the ideas, you're going to see the potential. The things are going to click into place in your mind. Your mind is going to wrap around what it is that you want. And it feels to me you've got a pretty clear direction as you get ready to shift out of Mercury retrograde, shift into a new month, shift into new energy. You've still got some things that'll need to be mastered and cleaned up. This week's energy is all about the integration of last week, moving into mastery now, applying that integration to your thinking and feeling patterns. So if you think about that, how we've been journeying this month, we became aware of a lot of new things that needed to adjust, some things we needed to let go of, some things we brought in. We've got this whole new burst of clarity. There was an absolute amazing inner rebirth that happened for so many people in the last couple of weeks, especially last week. And now we're going to apply that to the way that we think and feel so that we will behave completely different in the coming months. And isn't this what we've all wanted? This is what we've worked for, is for easy actions, not to have to effort at what we're doing, but to have the thinking and feeling patterns that support success and the advancement of our intentions into the world. So this is I feel like this is up level. Everyone, no matter what your ruling number is, you're experiencing up-level energy because it's calling you in, mind and heart, all month long. So Thursday, you're going to see the culmination of that integration. You're going to see what your thinking pattern now is. And so it's a great day to celebrate and acknowledge that. Like, I am thinking like someone who does the thing that I want. I am feeling like someone who can have that. And then we come to Friday, and Friday's like, all right, so now are you really willing to make some changes? So 5 of clubs comes in with the 2 energy. We have the key aspects of this month, I feel like, come together for this, for that Friday energy. So Friday, the 27th, is what have you learned in May? What has May taught you? What have you integrated? What's the messages? What's the takeaway from May? And are you willing to leap forward and make the changes? So now it's not a decision about what you want. Now it's a decision if you're going to do it. So you might become aware. I'll use a personal example. I became aware that I wanted to write the book that I'm writing 3 years ago. I didn't decide to write it until this year. Like, really complete it, like really write it. Like, you know what I mean? The really, really decided, the inner decision, the commitment. I am doing this. I accept it. I acknowledge it. I'm letting the inspired action. I'm writing every day. I'm not just thinking about it and dreaming about it. I'm doing it. There's a difference. Friday is the difference. You're deciding to want what you want. And Friday, you decide to do it. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this thing. I'm all in. You're going to feel it and it's going to activate and click into place. And as a result, you might feel some fears and you might recognize areas where you're going to need to trust yourself before you're ready. Really important on Friday. If I feel the insecurity of not knowing if I can do it, it's an invitation to trust myself even though I don't think that I deserve the trust or I'm ready for it, whatever you're thinking, because of course you do. I'm going to trust myself anyway. I'm going to take a leap of faith on me and my decision to change my entire experience. For a lot of people, this is going to be about career. This is going to be about family. This is going to be about where you want to take your family life. This is about making changes with, maybe you are going to change jobs. Maybe you're going to change what you're doing in your business. Maybe you're going to change how you're expressing in whatever way that you express. Maybe it's not a job. Maybe it's a vocation. Maybe it's a calling. Whatever that is, you're going to decide to make that big shift, and it's going to be a decision that you declare between you and you and the universe, and you and people in the world. You are going to be in it and declare it, and I highly, highly recommend writing it down, speaking it out, claiming it. I did this. I decide this. I am doing this. Like, it's the really clear, activated energy, which then will move you into the weekend. And so this is internal mastery of, I know I'm capable. I know I've got this. I know that not only do I love my desire, I think this is really important as I reflect on the cards here, is I reflect, I love what I'm going to be doing. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to show up and nurture my dream. I'm willing to physically do what I am inspired to do, to know that it will get done, to know that I have physical support and I have physical contribution. I have love to contribute, love to receive. I have physical contributions to give, physical contributions to receive, right? Support in both those areas, but also the intuitive awareness, the contribution from source. So not only am I intuitive and I'm hearing intuitive information and receiving intuitive information, I am giving that intuitive communication back to the world. We have three queens showing up for us. We have the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Clubs. So this is showing up saying, this week, you are nurturing this, which means inner. This is the feeling state. This is the feminine aspect of all humans. The feminine aspect of, I'm going to receive this awareness about myself. I'm going to cultivate this inner experience in the world. I'm going to move forward with that. And as a result, I've got King of Diamonds showing up saying, you're going to be able to take massive action in the physical world, but not just you by yourself. Physical action is going to unfold for you. And I do believe that there are going to be some physical changes that are made this week as a result of you not trying hard to do things in the physical world, of you just doing what you feel, being inspired, and noticing you're probably not feeling inspired for a lot of the physical. And can you move through that in a way where you know that things are getting done, you're willing to show up for it, but you're also not willing to compromise this inner shifting that's happening, because you're not going to get a time like this the rest of the year. This energy right now for May, it's a week and a half, and all of this stuff is being revealed and being shown to you, and you're going to have another Mercury retrograde later this year, but it's going to be very different, and it's going to be later in the year, and it's going to be at a time when there's a lot of things that are in action and happening in the world. You're not going to get a time quite like this one. So savor it, and over the weekend, allow yourself to integrate. We've got massive integration energies, integrating emotionally. Allow yourself the space. It can be a physical integration. It can be, spending time doing things on the weekend with people, but allow yourself to have the emotional balancing of things, the harmonization. It's a massive harmonization of emotional energy on Saturday. We have a 3-4 connection. I want to talk about 3 and 4 when they come together. 3 and 4 is this beautiful marriage in the numerological cycle, in our numerological energies. The 3 is all about amplification and expansion, but it's always working hand in hand with the commitment and the decision. It's not acting, I just had a Roadrunner move. I'm upstairs, and so on the roof there's this little Roadrunner that just kind of like walked by on my roof. They're so cute. And the Roadrunner is all about that beginning and moving, but not always having to run. So Roadrunners usually run by, and he sort of just kind of walked across my roof, exactly describing the 3-4 energy. So the 3-4 together is consistent movement forward. I'm amplifying, but I'm not in a rush. I'm just expressing and anchoring this in. I'm expressing the commitment. I'm expressing the marriage to my desire. I'm expressing the knowingness that I'm stable. So I'm amplifying my stability. I'm amplifying my safety, my security, that there's no urgency here. I'm not behind. I'm not too far ahead, right? I've got this. So in that energy, we have this on Saturday and Sunday. So we start off with Saturday. We have ruling energy 3, which means you're going to be ruling energy 3, which is the amplification, but I'm in a 4 of clubs. So it's amplification of my thinking patterns. I'm feeling my thinking patterns. So Saturday, I want to feel what I've been thinking about. I want to feel my decision. I want to integrate that as a feeling state. Sunday, we pivot into a 4 energy with the 3 of clubs, which means I want to now land into what I've been thinking. So my mind wants to wrap around the emotions that I've been feeling. So everything I integrated Saturday, my mind now wants to bring that into a more focused state. It's going to activate determination to get it done. And this is really important. Determination, we don't need to be aggressive and determined all the time, but there are moments we want to seize our determination. We want to say, okay, I'm willing to do this thing and see it through. And you're going to start to feel this inner shift. If you allow this week to unfold, the energy is going to just take you right through this. And you're going to complete the week with this determination that, you know what, I got this, I can do this. And that's going to change everything for how you walk into the next week, where you're going to be meeting June for the first time in 2022. You're going to be feeling the energies of this active, expansive, massive 3 energy month. What a better way to end this month than having this cocooned energy of this 3-4 right before we get to sort of that transitionary energy for the last couple of days of May, and then pivot into June next week. So I can't wait to come together with you guys next week, having anchored into this, allowing yourself the spaciousness to feel and think in ways that will make it so easy for you to take action in just a week. You've got this. So I feel like I'm like reaching across the miles, across the digital airwaves to say, I know there's the doing is strong with all of us. The doing is strong. And yet you have the capacity to let things be done by doing the inner work that's going to make this next month extraordinary, that's going to change your life, not just your day. You know, oftentimes we're trying to have a physical experience that changes our day. May is asking you to change your whole life so that you have lots of days where things are naturally different. Your whole life takes on a new shape. That's the power of May. Let yourself see what could be changed. Let yourself integrate. Let yourself ask the questions, make the commitment, come to the understanding that you can experience a different life, and you're becoming the person who can do that. You become the person inside before you become the person outside. This is an important week. It's a pivoting week that is about seeing it through, seeing all the inner work through, not rushing to do before the inner work is complete. You got this. I got this. You got this. We got this. We are actively leading a new way in the world as creators. And this week, for you creators, this is one that is going to, I feel like you're going to remember this whole month is pretty intense, but I feel like there's a lot of things that you're going to look back on 2, 3, maybe 4 months down the road, and you're going to go, wow, I can't believe what's happened since May. Like just the last month or two, so much has happened. It's because of May that it happened. May feels slow, it's going to speed up, and you're going to think that things are happening then. But actually, if you were to look back, you'd see it was all pivoting in May, and you're experiencing it later. So lots of love, everyone. I believe in you. I love you. You got this. I will see you next week for a new forecast to see how you landed into this one. Let me know how it goes. Bye for now.